My granddaughter called me Nan until she was 5, then her mother came back and taught her to call me something else. I am 64 years old. My granddaughter is called Lily. She came to live with me when she was 3, after my daughter, Lily's mother, a woman I will call Jade, was no longer able to care for her safely. I will not detail why, because Jade is still Lily's mother and because some things do not need to be in a YouTube video to be real. What I will say is that the arrangement was voluntary in the beginning, then formalised through the local authority, and eventually I applied for a special guardianship order, which is a legal arrangement that gives a non-parent full parental responsibility for a child sitting between foster care and adoption without severing the relationship with the birth family entirely. The order was granted in February 2022. Lily was 4. She is 6 now. She likes dinosaurs with an intensity that I find exhausting and admirable in equal measure. She sleeps with a lamp on and a stuffed stegosaurus called Gerald. She calls me Nan. She did, until recently. Jade returned to the area in March. She had been away for 26 months. She had undertaken, she told the court, a significant personal journey during that period, and was now in a position to be the mother she had always wanted to be. The family court took this application seriously, as it is required to do, because the principle of the child's relationship with her birth parent is one that the court gives genuine weight to. The court appointed a CAFCAS officer to assess the situation, and then the CAFCAS officer interviewed Jade, and Jade told her that I had been making contact visits difficult, that I had been speaking negatively about her to Lily, and that Lily was frightened to express her feelings about her mother in my presence. This is the part I need you to understand before we go any further. Every contact visit since March had been attended by a family friend of mine called Ruth. Ruth is not a professional. She is a retired primary school teacher who has known me for 30 years and who had offered, when the contact arrangement began, to be present because she understood that having a witness to what actually happened at handovers was the kind of thing I might one day need. She kept notes after every visit, dates, times, what was said, how Lily presented before and after, how long the contact lasted, whether Jade arrived on time. Ruth had attended 9 handovers. She had notes from all 9. Jade's account to CAFCASS described me as consistently hostile during handovers, as regularly undermining Lily's enthusiasm for contact, and as having made comments in Lily's presence that were negative about Jade. She described 3 specific incidents with approximate dates in which she said, "I had behaved in these ways." Ruth had been present at all 3 of the dates Jade cited. I want to give Jade something here, because she is my daughter, and because even now, in the middle of a legal dispute that has cost me more than I expected to be able to bear, I can hold 2 things at once. Jade had a very difficult early adulthood. Things happened to her that were not her fault, and that shaped her in ways that she has spent years trying to understand. Her absence from Lily's life was not the simple abandonment it might look like from the outside. It was the result of a period of genuine crisis from which she has, I believe, made genuine progress. She loves Lily. I do not doubt that. The question is not whether she loves her. The question is what she is prepared to do to get her back. And the answer to that question is where my daughter and I have fundamentally diverged. Ruth submitted a witness statement in May. She detailed all 9 handovers. She described the 3 specific incidents Jade had cited to CAFCASS and provided for each one a contemporaneous account that directly contradicted Jade's version. On the first occasion, Jade had said I had refused to let Lily bring her favourite toy to the contact visit. Ruth's notes recorded that I had packed the toy myself and reminded Lily twice before they left. On the second, Jade had described me making a comment about her new living situation in Lily's presence. Ruth's notes from that visit recorded no such comment and noted that I had, in fact, encouraged Lily to tell her mum about her week. On the third, Jade said I had cut the contact visit short by arriving 45 minutes early without warning. Ruth's notes recorded that it was Jade who had requested early collection due to a personal appointment. The midpoint of this story is when Jade's legal team received Ruth's statement. Their response was to file an application to have Ruth excluded from any further contact visits on the grounds that her presence was intimidating to Jade and constituting a form of surveillance. They also alleged in correspondence that Ruth's notes had been prepared retrospectively and did not represent contemporaneous records. Ruth had dated and time-stamped every entry. The application to exclude her was refused. The judge noted that the notes were consistent with contemporaneous documentation and that the presence of a support person at contact handovers was not inherently problematic. Jade's legal team then offered a settlement. They proposed a revised contact arrangement that would increase Jade's time with Lily significantly, with a review toward full residence in 12 months. They proposed that I withdraw the elements of my response that challenged Jade's account of the handovers. They proposed that Ruth cease attending visits. I declined. The hearing took place in July. CAFCAS revised their recommendations following receipt of Ruth's statement. The revised recommendation was for maintained special guardianship with increased supervised contact for Jade to be reviewed in 6 months, not the transfer of care Jade had sought. Partial win. Jade is appealing the contact quantum, the amount of time rather than the arrangement itself. Her appeal is listed, and here is the twist I did not see coming. In August, 3 weeks after the July hearing, Lily came home from a contact visit and asked me, in the careful voice children use when they have been given a specific task, whether I would agree to let her call me by my name instead of Nan. She said her mum had told her that Nan was a word for someone old and that I would prefer my name. I am 64, I have bad knees and a deep personal commitment to Gerard the Stegosaurus. I am Nan. I asked Lily whether she wanted to call me by my name. She looked at her shoes. She said she thought it might be easier for everyone. Easier for everyone. 6 years old, carrying an instruction she did not ask to carry, phrasing it as her own preference, looking at her shoes because she could not look at me. I said, "You can call me whatever you like, sweetheart. I will always know who you mean." She went upstairs and played with Gerald for an hour and came down for dinner and called me Nan twice without appearing to notice. That is the twist, not a legal one, just the particular way children carry the weight adults put on them and then put it down again when they think no one is watching. The appeal is ongoing. I am still here. Gerald is still on the bed. What would you have done if your granddaughter came home and asked you to change your name? I know what I did. I said whatever you like, and I meant it.